Hello everybody, this is Michael Elder, and this is just a quick overview of Edmodo. We know that a number of you have probably used Edmodo a great deal, and if you have, that's great. You don't necessarily need to watch this section, but we also know that some of us may not have as much experience with Edmodo, and we want to be sure to give you the how-tos and the little pieces and parts that you might need as we work through this online professional development. So if you run into problems during this professional development, please feel free to contact me anytime. You can certainly email or call. But let's jump right on into Edmodo. If you've been in Edmodo before, you know the general layout here. So I'm going to pick up my pencil just real quick here. On the web address, there are two ways to get to Edmodo. One is to go to just edmodo.com, and that certainly will work. The other option is to use the Onslow address. Either one is certainly fine. Either one will get you to our course. So over here on the left side of our screen, you will see that you have probably a number of courses listed. These are just some of mine. So the more groups you become a part of, the more you had to sort through, and you can certainly organize that in a way that makes sense to you. I've gone ahead and opened up our fact PD here, so let's go ahead and take a look at what are some of the options here in Edmodo. Two of the primary places you're going to see us interact here on this platform will be through posts and then through assignments. So there's a slight difference between a post and an assignment. So you will notice the default that comes up here is called a note, and that's what I would call a post. So in a note, all that you're doing is saying, okay, well, let's take a look at what we have going on here. So I might type a note that says, please view the overview, that's one word, right? Overview of Edmodo. And let me know if you have any questions. So that would be a post. So I'm not going to save that in here, but that would be a post. It would just go up on the screen. You would be able to see that. In the same way, you can put a post in here, and you can say, hey Michael, just wondering about this, that, and the other, or you could send a post to the whole group and say, hey, I found this really cool resource for multiplying by sixes. Just wanted to make sure everybody had it, and you can put you can attach a file to a post, and just by clicking attach file. You can also put a link in there, so you could link to a website if that was what you were trying to do, or you can link to something in your library. So you'll see me post things in here. You can see the post that I've already put in where I've asked you to introduce yourself, and a number of you have already done that. You can see here that at this point 19 people have already replied and said and introduced themselves to our group. So that's awesome, because that just means that's already done. So thanks for doing that already. The other way that we will communicate is through assignments. Now assignments, if you've used Edmodo as a classroom teacher, you know the beauty of an assignment is what it does is it communicates with your grade book. And so if I give you an assignment, typically after we have a video like this, I'll post an assignment and give you some direction in terms of what we'd like you to do. So you'll see when I click on assignment, it gives me some choices as the teacher of this course. You don't have that tab because you're not considered a teacher in this particular course, or somebody who created this course. So I could make an assignment here that said something like, tell me your favorite breakfast cereal, and I would then tell it when the due date is. So if I put that in here and I say, well, I want everybody to tell me the breakfast cereal by January 29th. And then down here I would give a description. So tell me about your favorite breakfast cereal. And I could spell breakfast right too. Let's see, breakfast, B-R-E-A-K, breakfast cereal. And we will all eat together. So I could make an assignment, something silly like this or something real. And if I send out that assignment, now if I do that, everybody's going to see it, so I'm not going to actually send this out. We would then see it pop up on our calendars for the group. It would post in here too, just like a regular post. And you would get an option to turn in the assignment. So I'm going to create an assignment here just so you can see what that looks like. And so let's just say, I'm going to say enter your name. So enter your name. It would be more detailed, and I would like that done by the 22nd. So what you will see happen here is I can attach a file. Sometimes we'll do that in the group. Most of the time in this group you'll see a link, because the link will take you to the video for the session. And so then I would push this assignment out. Oops, I got to tell it who to send it to. So I want to send it to you guys, which is the Math Fact PD group. And so it's looking for us, and that's this group right here. And so I'll send this out. It'll pop up in your Edmodo group. You might notice it up here where the alert is, the bell. So up here in the top corner, you'd see this little bell. Mine says I have 14 things I need to go look at. And you would see one come up there for you that then would link you to this assignment. So in yours, you will see here pop up something that says enter your name. Now, if we set up, or when I set up assignments like this, I'm going to ask you to please turn it in by clicking on the turn in button. Mine says turned in. That tells me how many people have turned it in. Yours would say turn in, and you would click on turn in. And what that will do then is it will tell you, it will give you the ability to upload the document, or if I said just, hey, tell me that you've completed it, it would bring you back to that. Mine goes to my gradebook, because then it's going to tell me who has turned it in and who has not. So you will see us most of the time in this professional development use the assignment feature, and sometimes we'll use the posts, but if it's something that's counting towards your CEU credit, we'll almost always use the assignment feature. Every now and then it's nice to have a poll, so we might ask something of the group, just something in general, and I might set up a poll here. So you'll see again the poll feature, and that would let me ask something like, well, how many of you would like me to extend the deadline? And you could tell me. The downside with the poll from a teacher side is it doesn't tell me who said what. It just tells me, no, 3 out of 6 people said yes, extend the deadline. You'll see some features we probably won't use. We won't use the quiz feature, I don't believe, but you can, as a teacher, set up a quiz. You can also, as a teacher, set up a snapshot. The snapshot pulls in questions based on Common Core Math standards or ELA standards. And again, if you're the teacher of the group, you can push those out. We won't have much use for that, but just so you know it's there. So again, we'll be primarily using notes, and you will see those pop up in your feed, which is the list below here. And we will primarily be using assignments. So you'll see those two things pop up for you. And that's how I justify giving the CEU credits at the end of the professional development. So those are two of the biggest things we'll do. And then the polls we'll do off and on. One piece, as a teacher, I know you've got tremendous number of things to keep up with. So different folks have asked, well, how do I know when something is due, or is there an easy way to see? And the answer to that is you have two options. One, you can scroll down through all the posts, but if you've fallen behind, which is totally fine, this is asynchronous professional development, but if it's way back in the list, you might just want to go to your calendar. So you will notice over on the right side of your screen, over here, we have the little button for your calendar. So yours might look a little different than mine, depending on if you've turned on Office 365 and those kind of features. This might look slightly different, but you will see this little picture of a calendar. That, to me, is sometimes my best friend, because I can go into the calendar. We'll look at that in a second. But you will also notice underneath here, I've got where it says Assignment Center, and it's telling me, remember I set up that assignment that said enter your name. So you should, as assignments are made, you'll see them pop up here, and you can click on that assignment. It'll take you to the assignment. You can turn it in. Again, mine's going to take me to the grade book, but yours would then look something a little more like this, where you would put in your name and let us know how things are going and complete that assignment. The other option is to click on the calendar. The calendar will pick up kind of a cover screen. And you will see here, I've got assignments for our AIG specialists. They turn in certain things, so you see a bunch of stuff on my calendar here. But there's that assignment, right? Due on January 22nd, enter your name. So for you, sometimes it might be easier just to go to the calendar and you can look and see, well, what do I have to turn in? Oh, I've got to go turn that in, and it'll pull up directly from your calendar. So again, to get there, let me back out of this real quick. To get where we just were, you're going to click on your calendar over here on the right side. And then once the calendar overlay comes up, you can click on that assignment and it'll let you turn it in right from there. So a lot of folks have said that's how they keep up with this online professional development, just because it's hard to scroll back through all the screens. So that's almost everything. The last thing that we're going to make sure you know is you have a tab here that says folders, and these would be the folders that are associated with this group. You might also have up here your backpack or your library. That's going to be all the things that you have, but the folders is just what's tied to our Math Fact PD right here. So let's take a look. You should see in that folder that you have two folders inside your Math Fact PD folder. One is with the addition and subtraction fluency resources, and then one is with the multiplication fact fluency resources. You can use either one of those folders. We know this. Sometimes the PD is around multiplication facts and sometimes it's around addition and subtraction. Some of you might be in both. So let's just look at the multiplication fact one for right now. And so in that folder, I tried to drop the resources that we're going to be using. So you will see different things appear there. You'll also see things appear attached to posts. So we try to give you all the digital resources that we possibly can, and so that you have the ability to use them. We use a text that is just based around Math Fact fluency, and we'll share that with you as we get into the first couple sessions. So we hope this has been a good overview for you of Edmodo. We hope this will give you the tools you need to be successful in interacting with this professional development. But again, you can contact me. Again, I'm Michael Elder, and I'll be glad to walk you through anything if you're having trouble. And we look forward to seeing you in the next few sessions here for this online professional development.